All right, I have here Patrick Surtain will finish as, and this is not all that bold, but I do think predicting cornerback grades is tough because they are so volatile. And looking at, J.C. Horn was the top corner off the board. There's other cornerbacks a lot of people like. Caleb Farley to Tennessee. I think Patrick Surtain will be the highest graded outside cornerback among rookies. I think he's going to be put in a very good position to succeed in that Denver defense, and I think he's not going to give up a ton of big plays. And when you look at rookie cornerbacks and their grades, it's heavily reflected, like PFF coverage grades. If you give up explosive plays, if you give up big plays, you're going to get torched in PFF's grading system. And I just don't see in that system him doing that. J.C. Horn, going to play a lot more press, you have to imagine, in that Carolina defense. He's going to be put in a position where he is, as a rookie, could be grading lower than Patrick Surtain. So I do think Surtain is the highest graded outside cornerback among rookies.
I'm very curious. So I'm going to hit mine here also in a second. But I first want to say I'm very curious to see how this Broncos secondary shakes out, because they paid Ronald Darby $10 million a year. They paid Kyle Fuller, I believe, also $10 million a year. Those are outside cornerbacks. They have Bryce Callahan, who's obviously one of the better slot cornerbacks, more versatile cornerbacks in the NFL. Or excuse me, 9.5 for Kyle Fuller. Do you think one of those guys who's making that amount of money, they're going to be happy just sitting on the bench for Patrick Surtain right out the gate?
That's tough.
Because it's like those guys,
they have an embarrassment of riches at corner.
When you're on Kyle Fuller on a 1-year deal, Darby on a 3-year deal, you're taking money from them right away if you don't start them. Like Kyle Fuller, if you don't start him on the outside after he just signed for this money, he's going to be pissed because he's not going to get another contract next year. So he's going to say, release me, trade me, whatever right now. So I'm not sure. They just have a bit of a logjam on their hands. Patrick Surtain, even if he is better, maybe looking better than those other two, he might be just the odd man out because you don't want to lose.
No, I don't think that's something I factored into this bold prediction. I kind of assumed he'd see the football field and he would start over those veterans. But when you do factor in the cap, the cap aspect of it and the veteran presence of it, I do think he definitely rotates in. Do you think they'll play him in the slot maybe and try and get him some experience there before anything?
Well, Callahan's your slot. Like Callahan's fantastic there. So I'm just curious. Yeah, I have no insight. I'm just saying I'm curious to see how it shakes out.
Maybe the Patrick Surtain pick was an investment in the future.
I mean, it is. Like that's you don't let that dictate who you're going to take if a guy's top on your board, for sure. But you just don't have to necessarily start a guy right away. You got 4 more years of Surtain after this year, so not a big deal there.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to linebacker here. Jamin Davis, I'm not saying grade, but he leads all rookie linebackers. I'm going to say all rookies in tackles. I think he's going to lead all rookies in tackles. I think that's.
So you're saying he's going to be defensive rookie of the year?
So I'm going to say he's going to be defensive rookie of the year. I think when we had that, so we had the defensive rookie of the year podcast recently, and we didn't bring up Davis enough. I think because Davis is working behind arguably at least a top 3 defensive line in the NFL, at least maybe even number 2 behind Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh losing Bud Dupree, I don't know. There's conversation there. There's a conversation to Washington having the best defensive line in the NFL. I think playing behind Washington, that defensive line, he's going to have a lot of opportunity to tackle, and he's going to immediately see the field. That is a huge opportunity for him. I think if he does lead the league in tackles, I think he will be defensive rookie of the year. And while there's potential that Micah Parsons does it, I know Zaven Collins also picked in the first round for the Arizona Cardinals. There's so many linebackers in Dallas. Mike McCarthy was on the Chris Collinsworth podcast and talked about, he said Keanu Neal was the best free agent will linebacker we saw. He's like, that's why we went and got him. And then they bring in Jabril Cox. Then they have Micah Parsons, Leighton Vander Esch, and Jaylon Smith. They said, Mike McCarthy spoke to, we want to rotate bodies. So how many snaps is Parsons really even going to play? I don't know if Parsons is going to play near the amount of snaps that Jamin Davis does. Jamin Davis is going to be out there for 800,000 snaps next year.
Linebacker just does not seem like the position you want a rotation coming in there. It's like you want a guy who's seen what their outside zone looks like so that he can know when they're running boot action off it and it's not real. Like who's seen what the offense is doing. It's almost like a hitter in baseball getting to the 3rd and 4th quarter, or excuse me, Jesus, I just mixed that one. Getting to the 7th, 8th, and 9th, getting 3rd time through the rotation or 3rd time through the batting order. Now he knows what this pitcher's got. That's what you want your linebacker. You don't want him coming in all of a sudden in the 3rd quarter and being like, okay, what the hell is this? What does their run game look like? It's like, no, you want him to have seen that already. So I will believe that one when I see that they actually have a rotation at linebacker and not just like a starting duo / trio that sticks. So Caleb Farley leads all rookie cornerbacks in pass breakups for the Tennessee tight ones.
Tight ones? Did you say Tennessee tight ones?
My bad. Say that too. Yes, I do think so. He's built to break up passes, and 6'2", 207, long arms, 4.3 speed. Yeah, I get the back injury, but that's more of like a long-term concern. That's more like, oh, he might get hurt year 2 years. It's going to come up at some point, and that's why he fell. It's not a year 1 necessarily concern if that back is healed. 17 pass breakups in 2 seasons at Virginia Tech, and that's with him not really even getting challenged that much. That's on 104 targets in his career. And so if he gets challenged more down the football field, I think with his makeup speed, the way he covers ground, he will be a pass breakup. You can consistently rely on him breaking up a lot of passes in the NFL. And that's why he gets drafted. And that's why he wasn't on one corner until the back injuries popped up for PFF.
So you're saying he's going to lead all rookies in combined passes defensed and interceptions?
Just pass breakups.
Just pass breakups? Okay. Next on my bold predictions.
Let's hear it.
Micah Parsons, though I did say won't play a ton of snaps, will still be PFF's highest graded rookie linebacker and will record at least 4 sacks. I think he's going to be used as a pass rusher a lot. I think they talked about that on the Chris Collinsworth podcast, and that's where he's going to be best utilized, man. He's going to be able to rush the passer right out of the gate. We talked about it in the pre-draft process that he might be the best pass rusher, in this draft class if he was a pure edge defender. But I do think they're going to use him on the line of scrimmage. They're going to blitz him. They're going to try and get him after the quarterback, and he's going to succeed. I think at least 4 sacks and highest graded rookie linebacker on roughly 300 to 400 snaps.
The only thing, Dan Quinn's MO was not blitz heavy. Never been, not his thing. We'll be curious to see if that changes, because personnel-wise, they should be blitzing. Yeah, you have the linebackers to do it in Dallas, but it's not what they did in Atlanta. So we'll see.
Jaelan Phillips, Miami edge defender, former Miami edge defender, now currently playing for the Miami Dolphins, leads all rookies in sacks, pressures, and is the highest graded rookie edge defender in 2021. I thought about Kwity Paye. I really like the coverage on the back end in Miami. I think Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, Javon Holland, they have a lot, and I love, obviously.
Maybe not Xavier Howard. We'll see. Holding out.
It's quote unquote a unique situation. I don't think it's a contract discussion. He just signed like a monster deal. I think it could be something more personal. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I do not imagine the Xavier Howard quote unquote unique situation is going to be a problem. I think Xavier Howard's still there. And I obviously love what they're doing on the sidelines there. The coach, I'm blanking on his name. I can't believe I'm blanking. Brian Flores. Brian Flores. I think that defense is going to be really good. And Jaelan Phillips is already their best defensive lineman, at least best edge defender. A lot of people like Christian Wilkins, but they did not have, Emmanuel Ogbah, Andrew Van Ginkel. This was not a team that had star power.
Don't hate on Andrew Van Ginkel.
Yeah, okay. I know. I'm going to hate on Andrew Van Ginkel. I do think that they don't have star power. Jaelan Phillips is a star. If he's healthy, plays a full 17 games, he's going to be, in my opinion, the highest graded rookie edge defender and lead in sacks and pressures. I think that's how good he was. People talk about Jaelan Phillips like he's this, and he is a project. Former 5-star, all this athleticism in the world, number 1 ranked recruit out of California. But he's also on true pass sets, top 3 in pass rush win rate list last year. He was winning consistently, had very, very good tape.
Yeah.
There are less concerns for me about his polish than there are his injury history. His polish, can he get better? Absolutely. He still could get more polished. But I do think that Jaelan Phillips is ready to contribute right now, if healthy. And he's healthy right now. So I like Jaelan Phillips a ton. I think he's going to be ahead of Kwity Paye, ahead of Odafe Owe, these other guys, and actually be sacks, pressures, and highest graded among the edge.